Hiya, this will just be a quick one. Now, something occurred a couple of years ago regarding the year 2020, and lots of rules were introduced as well as legislations. Consider the nation of Australia. Specific strict rules are brought into effect in the region of Australia called Victoria. Now, Victoria is the smallest region of mainland Australia. It's the smallest. Now ask yourself this question. Because it's the smallest, why did it end up having the most strict rules regarding what happened in 2020? I'll posit my theory. It's because it was used as a control group. In the same reason why the strictest rules were introduced here in the UK, in Wales. It also explains why some of the strictest rules are also introduced regarding New Zealand. The reason the rules were much more strict in these isolated areas, which you'd think would be more safe from what happened, was because it was used as a test bed and a control group. That is the real reason, in my opinion. So, you forfeited your rights and your freedoms and all that stuff. And really, I mean, it's about mass control. I don't often put this sort of stuff up on YouTube. I like the creative stuff and arts, but if you haven't joined the dots together yet, there's no hope for you, I'm afraid. Essentially, I'm going to say it. The West is controlled by a fifth column. They've got no legal bearing to be in charge. The rules they're introducing are completely unlawful. They're against human rights. They're against the human spirit. And the majority of people in the present day who are working inside these Western governments will face human rights trials. They'll be put on trial in The Hague for what they've done. Not just regarding what happened in 2020, but overall. How on earth the West has allowed this to happen, I don't know. Somebody was obviously caught sleeping. They weren't concentrating properly. But yeah, and to get back to the point, Victoria, Australia had the strictest rules, not out of common sense, but because it was the smallest region. It was used as a test bed and a control group. That's the real reason. You didn't see these rules being introduced in Africa or Russia or anything like that. They were mainly in these Western countries that were also not only isolated and regionally small, but small populations, sparsely populated, because it's even easier to implement the control and to gauge the effectiveness of the rules. So ask yourself again, was it about health or was it gauging compliance and the effectiveness of the rules? You need to ask yourself these questions. I'm not saying you have to ignore things for the sake of it. You might want to ask yourself these questions as well. Yeah, so that's that. As I said, the weather's improving. Spring's on its way. I'm so glad. I've cut ties with certain family members. It sort of improves one's life somewhat. All I can say is peace to everybody and good wins in the end. That's what I will say. Good night. Thank you.